Hello everybody, how are you? Happy Sunday fun day to everybody from Atlanta, live in Atlanta this Sunday. How's everybody? I'm feeling really good, glowing. I'm always glowing and illuminating. That's just me, and I hope that with my platforms and when people see me in person that they illuminate, because it's so much that's going on. Y'all see my leopard? Sometimes I bathe myself in leopard, then other times I kind of tone it down, that kind of thing. I guess it could just be like when I was born, darlings, it was under the ascension of Leo. This is one of those just chill down vibes here, and hopefully it will lift people. But I was born under the Leo the lion, even though this is leopard, still in the family. Okay, and I'm such a big Eartha Kitt fan, and you know, for any Eartha Kitt fandoms out there, like, I'm a stan for Eartha Kitt. Okay, Kittisms. She was born in South Carolina, and my maternal family, you know, they're everywhere, but the roots, like a lot of people, because we know that boat came to Charleston, that boat came to Beaufort in South Carolina, that boat went to Virginia, and then maybe like Massachusetts area, you know, as far as in the States. So when people start tracing their roots, then you will see a lot of South Carolina, because, you know, the slave ships. But we're going to keep this yen. We're going to keep this more yen. I love doing my history. So I love Eartha Kitt, her vibe and just everything. So whenever I get in that mode, I'll be like, okay. Okay. But it's good to be yin. And then with me born under, like I said, Leo, my ascension. Because if you follow astrology, I know some people are like, oh, yeah. But, you know, you have the heavens and the planets. So, therefore, those things align. But you cannot just tie yourself to it. At least that's what I get from it. You can't just, like, tie yourself to your zodiac sign and be like, oh yeah, that's all me, when it's good. But then when it's not so good, you be like, ooh, I want to just get far away from it. Except the yin and the yang. But then the balance and the illumination comes when you know that you should not just go by that, but live your life. But then you get to see your chart, your natal chart, and you know, it reveals so many different aspects about you. So my ascension when I was born was under Leo, and my sun sign is Pisces, and that is such a dynamic because you got fire and water sitting right there. I don't have a lot of air, thank God. Like, both of my parents are air signs. My grandmother, air sign, Aquarius, Libra. I mean, as much as they say they're so free-flowing, and this is the yang that some people don't like to accept, because there's nothing wrong with it. You know, I love the air signs, but they can be a little bit, but that can only be helped when they get out of the comfort zone. But then that's a part of your natal chart. And if you have everybody carefree and dreamy and all that, like, you know, how do you get things rolling and moving? You know, so you need every aspect of, you know, water signs, the air signs, the fire signs, the earth signs. You need all of that because it's the elements. You know, because, you know, I mean, that's just how it is. Anyway, like I said, this is just a relaxed chat, everybody. The combination, I don't reveal all my charts to anybody. I don't think anybody should. Because it really should be for you. And then if you want to get readings from that, you can. And I do read charts, but I am all about my Heavenly Father, okay? AME, baby. And like, if you follow my hashtags, when I say First Family AME, what that means is that we are of the denomination of African Methodist Episcopal Church, which was started by Richard Allen, and then the Four Horsemen of bishops that was with him. That's what they call the Four Horsemen. But when I say First Family, that means like either your father or your grandfather. And now, you know, ladies are now in the AME. Lady Vashti was the first female bishop. But before that, okay, it was just dominantly just men. My grandfather was an AME minister. So then you become the first family of whatever church you are, and you become the first family of the whole denomination. You know, the Reverend and the First Lady and the other first family. So you're set to a standard, and it's a standard that is perfectly imperfect, flawed and all, especially for like the children and everything, because you have such a set bar there. But one thing I did love about my grandfather is that we were allowed to be ourselves, but we were already respectful and have a great passion of spirituality in us, that we was not like, ooh, the preacher's children. But yeah, we were the first family, and it's really great memories about that, because oh my God, if your congregation loves you, if your congregation loves you, oh my God, they spoil the children, grandchildren. I remember one time, we're gonna be all over the place here, okay? I remember one time I was, we were told by the mother of the church. Some people would get this, some people would know. Mother of the church is like one of the older elders of the church. And she was like, I need you all to be at my house first before church. I'm cooking breakfast. And my grandfather's church was some ways away in the historic low country, always, of South Carolina, and they had really rich history, and so I love that, because they had the history of Brown and versus Board of Education, and people of color really fought for their rights, you know, under the Jim Crow laws. You know, I'm a pre-law political science major, history, and then that double major of psychology, so it's all in there. But that's the area that he pastored for like 3 decades, and the people loved him. And so we had to get up extra early, because you know, if you're familiar with churches, you got Sunday school, early service, and stuff like that. So we had to get up super early. I mean, super early. And you know, as like, I think I was a preteen then. I wasn't like a teen at that point. Because like I said, when my grandfather pastored, I was like preteen, then teen, then adult, before he transitioned and before he retired. So we grew up at that church, and then before that we were still AME all my life. But we had to get up super early, but you know, as preteens, you're like, oh my God. But let me tell you, when we got there, the fine china was pulled out, fresh squeezed orange juice. We're not talking about low pulp, no pulp in the carton. We're talking about fresh squeezed orange juice, coffee. Yellow stone grits, not instant grits. Creamy. I'm a good cook. I'm not even, some people are like, I'm an okay cook. I'm a great cook. Just ask my loved ones. Okay. Stone grits. You sitting there. You stirring. You creaming it. Have to soak it. Even before all that. That takes technique and time and patience. And if you don't, I don't blame you. Go ahead and get that 5-minute grits or the other grits, but she has stone yellow grits. Sausage, Canadian bacon, regular bacon. Fruit. Fruit bags to go when we get into church. Had the beautiful nuts. Everything out of her garden. It was lovely. And so that's what it is like with the first family type thing. You get all that love, and when you are a good man or woman of God preaching the word, then people can feel that. They can feel the sincerity. So as time moved on, I am always forever AME, but I stay out of any denomination religious politics. And I don't tout, like some people, they just always like, I'm a church girl, I'm gonna be honest, I think that's overkill and whack. Because if you love God and you went to church all your life, but see, that's other denominations. A lot of people always say, and we'll break this down. I can't wait to get the lifestyle platform together for this, and I'll be talking about on 1021, going in depth on the different denominations. Like the AME is probably a little bit more snort, maybe to some people, and then the Baptist is like, hey, all right, and then they got their moments too now. And then the Kojic is just like, but I love it. They got their moments. But I noticed that a lot of times it could be more Kojic that does the over the top. I'm church girl. Like other people aren't church girls. And then I always be saying, to keep it real, because I've had people say, oh, she's a church girl. It's like, yeah, me too, all my life. But you got some people that, you got church girls and you got church girls. You got church girls that say, I'm a church girl. And they just open sesame. Children out of wedlock. But I'm a church girl. So you got them church girls. But anybody can get caught up. But you know what I'm saying. But they always tout, I'm a church girl. And then cussing and carrying on, and 1 minute floozy woozy, and then the next minute I'm a church girl. And then you got the church girls who are like, I'm perfectly imperfect, and everything rolling out my mind is not always curses or anything like that, and I'm not looking like I got like I'm bipolar or something like that. 1 minute I'm ooh on that, and the next minute it's just like, I want to get that thing or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so I always say, when that just starts flying here, there, everywhere, like, you won't hear me saying that. All you'll hear me saying is, First Family AME, and I've been on my walk with my Creator all my life, but I am perfectly imperfect, flaws and all. I will never do that over the top thing or anything like that. So, and then you got the Presbyterian, you know, who is even a little bit more relaxed than we are as AME, and then, you know, other things. But as I come into my own, you know, I try to stay out of any religious politics, and then I just try to just do my thing with spiritual, having a spiritual relationship, because you want to be good, and it's not hard, but you have your days, and I don't think no one is perfect than the Creator, but you know from your intuition and your consciousness, like, to that own self be true. You know when you've done something wrong, or you said something that hurt someone. You know when you've done something that doesn't sit right with your spirit, because if your conscience doesn't condemn you, it does say, neither will I. So you have it, and you know when you know, either you're going to live a yang or you're going to live a yin. I live a yin, but you always can get tested. And when you get tested, then you'll be like, you may have to rise to the occasion and nip things in the bud or do things, but then you try to rise as much as you can. And that comes through wisdom, and that comes through grace and everything like that. So, all right, so then switching gears with that and everything, you know, that's just the makers of me. So, you know, I just love who I am, and I love the life that I live. And I'm going through things just like anybody else. I'm going through a lot of very trying things, and things that I shouldn't even be here. But I choose to do the inspiration, because I'm just that type of woman, mysterious, wide open. I can talk a lot about things, but just like my deep interpersonal, that's for me, and that's for whoever I want to share that with. But when you can come through to inspire people, we can say this is an inspiring type of vibe today, this vibe, then you inspire people greatly. Do that. We awoke to some good news this morning. A mutual friend of ours has just got married, and happy for the couple. So if you know us, okay, me and babes, then you know. But it was so good seeing that. It was just like divine timing and illumination. And it was right after he shook me awake out of a dream, but it was not a dream terror. It was a dream laugh. I was laughing to wake me. And he was like, what was so funny? I said, do you remember what I said? He was like, no, you were just laughing. And I was just like, okay. I said, well, that's a good thing. But I was like, well, maybe next time, don't wake me so quick. And listen, let's see what I say. But, so, you know, I always say joyful in my spirit, always joyful in my heart. And I always think it is so good when you see couples make the decision to get married. I will say this. Some people say, oh, I'm ready to get married. I'm ready to get married. Why aren't I married? Or that kind of thing. Listen, you know, I want my man to marry me. I want my husband to marry me. Look, we saw a beautiful couple take the step to get married. A man knows what you want. And a woman knows what you want. And it's just going to be on your timing when that happens. And God's timing. I will never, that's me though, how women propose to men, that's not going to happen. I didn't have to tell no one I ever been with, and I've been proposed to in my lifetime. Okay. But it has to be the right time, and I always say for God to reveal anything that I need to know. So I don't have to go searching for stuff. I don't have to go stalking. I'm not that kind of woman. I'm very secure in mine. Always have been. Because I've always been in more better illuminating relationships. Whether they worked out or not, they were illuminating. They were more positive. I didn't have any of those things that other people did. I'm so blessed for that. I didn't have any domestic violence stuff or anything. I did not. You know, I did what was required for me to do. So I would never propose to a man. I would never keep sticking down a man's throat that, oh my God, you know, I'm ready to get married or something like that. I remember with us, he said, I know what you want. And when you're so connected, you don't have to say anything else. So if he knows, then whatever, or if ever, that would be on him. And you just go from there. Marriage is not for everyone. And marriage can be really good for some people. But if someone says, I know what you want, then they already know. And I'm a firm believer how I was raised. This is for a lot of women out here and men. Because we need to just stop acting like men are unintelligent. They're so intelligent. They get a lot of times a bad rap. But they may have things that they need to do before they want to take that next step. Because that's a serious commitment. And we all have seen or read, either personally or just what we read, some of the people who have gone into unions together only to split apart, and people who have stuck it out to their end of their last breath. So, you know, some people like to think like, oh, marriage, but do you really know what that entails? You know, and are you really, really ready for it? But in saying that, in my faith and how we were raised, because I was raised in a public figure family, before I did my own public figure thing, and I was saying on my Facebook, on a platform, that I got caught out there by giving too much information, and then it just led to stalkers and craziness that I'm not even about. And because this was the blessing, because being born in a public figure family, I was already prepared for it, but not prepared for it, but prepared for it. Because I was like, you know, I'm never, and I will never, ever confront a woman about a man I'm with. And the code that I was taught by women on both sides of my family, if you have to confront a woman, you're weak, you're insecure, you're desperate, and you really probably don't have that many people pulling at you if you go and whack my doodle over one dude. I don't care how great he is. There's something broken. Because your light should shine and say, she didn't do this to me, hurt me. He did. She doesn't know me, but he does. If he's telling you that he loves you and you're his woman, and if he's with someone else, why are you confronting the lady? You confront him. You throw that aggression on him. But those kind of women love to give the man the pass. And their mamas probably was doing that, or their aunties, And maybe their aunties or mamas didn't, but then they may have gotten caught up to, maybe that's within, you know, just like the natal chart. Maybe that's within why they do that. Or they got crazy friends who was raised that way. In my family, we wish we would. It was like beneath you. Well, really, to be honest, none of us really had a problem because nobody was like messing with somebody's man. Like, everybody always had their own. Now, they might have problems with other females because, look, everybody gets played and or cheated on at some point. But what we were always told about the grand dames in our family, oh, no, 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 no. That would be a no. It's all on him. And fellas, if she cheats, don't be trying to knock that dude's block off. You got to deal with the person who violated you. They're the cheater. They're the heartbreaker. Not the other person. But women are notorious for trying to vilify another lady. In my situation, it was really crazy. Because there's another thing in my family. I know why I'm there or he's there. So if I see another woman or know another woman is there with mine, I'm going to drive, park my car there, ring the doorbell. Sometimes they have a key. I don't know. I don't know. Why is she here? That's when you know that you are who you are. I can tell y'all this story when I was in my 20s. That had happened to me. I'm going to do it real quick. Early, maybe like before 20. Anyway, we had each other keys. We were in college. But somehow we had our own apartment after the second, a junior year. I think he had his after his freshman year. But see, you know, when you come with them families with money and stuff like that, they had him spoiled. But anyway, we had each other keys. He had a key to my apartment. I had a key to his. But we were at two different colleges, you know? So, but hey, when you're together, it doesn't matter. I want to do the pop-ups. And he knew it. So, I had the key because I was secure in mine. And no, I never ever popped up and there was some chick there. But I remember one weekend, the chick left a note on my Jeep. I said, what is this? And he just had to tell it. I said, well, you can just take my bags back in. We need to find her. Because are we breaking up? Did I miss something? And he was just like, no. I said, but we need to find her though. To get her clear. And it's good with me. Because if that is someone who illuminates you, run to her. Boy, he didn't even know that kind of confidence level. But long story short, what I'm saying, if you are the one, then you need to act like the one. And if you're not and you know that you're in the number, just act like you're in the number. Don't be trying to come at people. Anyway, that was, but, oh, well, I know people are like, well, what happened? Well, she did come, and I did it proudly, as my grandeurs in my family of women would do. And go at her hard. I pretty much kid gloved her because I love my sisters. I may not like how you act, but I'm not the fake women empowerment thing. And that's why I'm so glad I had the ladies in my family. There's if he messes up, I wish you would, in the name of us, go after that woman. I wish you would. You better check the one that you're dropping the all in all for. Not her. Not on our name. We'll dismiss you. We'll disown you. Okay, my people don't play. They're about that little pride. They're about that pride, and I love it. Okay, they're about that set that bar. I wish you would. Look at yourself. Are you kidding? So I treated her with kid gloves, and I was like, the things she said on the letter, and he was, God, I know he's a champ though, because he could have just been like, I ain't dealing with this. But he did it more for me, because he knew if he didn't stand in and do that. I said, well, tell her. I said, she's under the impression we're breaking up. Are we? He's like, no. I said, well, who do you want? I said, we need to get this clear. I said, you know, you got AIDS, STD. Ooh, look here. He said, you. I said, me what? Who am I? Who am I to you? You know, guys can't really get that. And then you got the other woman you cheated with right there, a girl, because, you know, we were young. He said, you, the girlfriend. I said, okay, the girlfriend. Yeah, and then that's where her quiet demeanor, she went into a, but now listen, I was kid glove and nice with her, but she knew that she was in a dangerous situation with me. When people are, you know, you can be loud and talk about what you're gonna do, but I'm telling you, it's the quiet person in the room that is really dangerous a lot of times. I was a dangerous one in the room. But I felt sorry for her because I was pissed that he led this girl on with lies, all just to get some new, and that's not good, to play with people's lives like that, to get them so caught up in you. And he was working it. He worked the magic, because anytime they leave the note, you already know it. Woozah! That would never be me, because see, I don't do that though. I mean, if you're going to play around with someone, then you should know the rules of engagement. You know what it is. And then if it changes, then whatever, you know. But, yeah, after when he said that, she just went into a tirade. It was awful. And then she left. And I hate that when they said, you ain't Jack anyway. Honey, yes, he was. He was Jack. Jack, rack, crack, lack, diggity, lack, lack. We're in a cold frozen channel. Who's on? In case y'all didn't see this coming. Yes, he was. I hate when they did. Look, girl, just say what it is. You left a note. You wildin' out. Now he ain't nothing because. But listen, back to hold the person you love accountable. Now, if she had come at me, she would have got all the business. But she didn't. And I still have my love for my sisterhood. After she left, boy, I started packing my bags, and he was looking like, what? I said, are you kidding? Do what you want. Get a mouthful. Because there's nothing here right now. No. I didn't even say right now. I said nothing here, right? There's nothing here. And I held on to that. I was like, oh, I'm free now. Ooh, I'm free to date around. I'll be like, look, you must have got it twisted. I may not do it for everybody, but I'm a head turner. I've always been. And there are a lot of women can say that. Come on, ladies. Y'all, wait, adjust your crowns. You know what it is. when you present yourself. Now, some people may have nasty attitudes, but when I say that, and like right now, somebody said, well, I don't see it. Well, that's you. But like, people who know me, people who love me, friends, like, I never have to lack for anything, but I am selective who I want to be with, okay? But, and I'm not a cheater. I think that's whack. Like, if it's like that, but that's just how I am, and you can't really base that off certain people or whatever. But I was like, I'm free to do what I want to, because like there was never a lack of any attention ever. I'm just faithful, and I'm not a cheater. I'll say this, I'm just way too passionate just to be trying to keep up. Not that in my lifetime I never haven't, but that was when nobody was under the impression that it was I was devoted to you kind of thing, you know, we in between things. But that's still too much. It's just like, because, you know, when you're connected with someone sexually, that is a spirit that you have. And if you got somebody wilding all over the place, and the more spiritually in tune you become, you will have, you would know things, because especially if you are a yin and positive person, if they're messing around with somebody who just don't know who they are, or just full of yang and craziness, that'll start to seep into your spirit, and then that'll let you know also. That's when you're being really elevated and real deep with the godliness of intuition and spiritual vibes. But yeah, I was like, whatever. We didn't get our keys back, so I did know in the back of my mind that I wanted to keep the relationship, but I had to push off, okay? I had to push off, because you think that I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, well, okay. I was like, let me do me. And I did me for a year, and he would still come. But then I didn't get the key back. He didn't get my key back. But I never turned his key. But I would be like, look, you said you're gonna try. I'm gonna try. I'm even about to redate you. I said, but yeah, for a whole year, and he would come, and he probably was doing something, but I bet he kept it close to the vest. But before we came back together, and you know, the parents, you know, because I'm not one of those females that, well, if I'm dealing with someone for a long time and we like really doing couple stuff or whatever, oh, we meeting the parents, because I that's just how I was raised. I'm not the shadow chick or anything like that. So after about a year, I had to get tested. You have to do adult things, get a clear test, physical, everything. What's up? What's happening? Because I love my life. You know what I'm saying? I know there's not a lot of clean women out here. I know that, and women too. There's not a lot of clean men out here. You know? You gonna die for love? Not me. We gonna be clear. So that was that. But so many people, you know, they look at somebody else and, ooh, I'm ready to get married. That this morning when we saw that, we were genuinely happy for them. And I felt like it was a divine sign that could be leading us to that. But here's what it is, and goes back to the religious upbringing and me as a woman. The man, he who findeth the wife, it will all be him, as it should. Like, my dad came to my grandparents and was like, I would like your daughter's hand in marriage. Okay? My dad's a city guy and all that, but he did the respectful OG thing the way he was raised, and it's good that way. Now, So no, it would never be a push. Ooh, hey, and we've been going together all these years and decades. You ready to get married? No. I want my tears, if that's it, of happiness and springing upon me, and not gnawing a man to death about marriage, whatever, or whatever. If the pandemic hasn't taught us anything else either, is that be in the moment. Grow together. Grow separately. Maintain your vibe. And things will come as they should be. One thing that I do, that I learned from my auntie, grand auntie, God rest her soul, never let the sun go down on your wrath. And no matter how bad, this is for men and women, anything could be with the ones you love, on romantic, platonic, or anything. Never let the sun go down on your wrath. Always work that out. People know when it's time. Some men may need a little bit longer, but that's on that. But when he said years ago, I know, he knows. And that's it. But some women, you know, they just are on this whole thing. And then, like, with my stalker situations and stuff like that, I mean, men and female stalkers, but with that whole thing, you know, you just be like, you feel like sorry for that person, because in their head they feel like you're the enemy, or they feel like he's my man. He's not your man, ladies. If you know there's another woman he is loving and all that, things is none of your business. And I've learned from that, like, you ain't getting them good details, but bravo to my glows. I have a beautiful life. So, you know, I don't want to put any sisters in jail or get a record or take your money. You don't have enough money for me to take, even if you did have tons of money. Respect yourself, because, you know, go in the prayer box for anybody, and you should know in your prayer box, you should already know that if you can drive up in that driveway, knock on that door and be like, why is she here? Since you the woman, or fellas, go driving up and be like, why is he here? What's happening? You know, like my situation, I was like, you better call that girl. We need to get some things straight, clarity. Now, if you want to roll on, roll on. But if not, hey, nobody leaving no notes on my window, and then they start knocking me out, and then your parents got to be paying for this, whatever, even though they got it. But like, what's happening? And you know, then you know your place. You're waiting for him to cut someone loose. You're waiting for her to cut him loose. I don't know what else to tell anybody to do with that, because I don't. No. I don't know what that is. But, you know, in relationships and relating with people and stuff like that, I just say, don't give people all your life if they're not giving you what you want. People are leaving here every day. I know my great-grandmother used to say, someone's in a morgue right now, on their way to the morgue. Somebody didn't wake up this morning. Do you want to wake up every morning denying yourself the life you want because you're waiting on someone who may or may not give it to you, or anything like that? Are you holding your own self back and all that? You know, so it's just what it is. So that's what I love in my natal chart, moving off that. And I wish, well, first, we wish them blessings for a beautiful marriage. I think I said Corinthians. You know, God blessings to them both. And, you know, we meant that. And whatever would be for me would be for me. I would love to get married over a cliff overlooking the beautiful scenery, because that's just who we are. Okay, but hey, I'll take it however. But I've seen some really great couples take the leap of marriage and then things didn't work out. I've seen couples who had a rocky road and people's like, y'all have been at some of those receptions. I give it 2 years and them people have been together forever. So, but yeah, I always say God is in the details, and He's in the details of my life. I lived my life exactly how was pleasing in God's sight. Not that anybody didn't get caught out there and be like, oh my God, am I pregnant? I'm so glad. But overall, I am very spoiled to the point of I did what I was supposed to do. I wanted to be married and then enjoy ourselves and then bring in kids. It's not always a perfect world like that. So when it is not, then you have to take some steps back, because people go through a lot. Sometimes when you're with someone that you love, sometimes things may not be all about you, and you have to step back and just be there for them. But also, being there for them is to also be there for yourself. You have to make yourself happy. And I say that all the time. And matter of fact, one that got married did a post on that. He quoted Will Smith. You need to be happy. The other person need to be happy because you're happy. Are you at a good place? And then when you come together, then it makes it even more better. But if you're only happy when you're with someone, but everything else is just kind of like whatever, and if they hurt you, then you're down, and then if they say a simple hello or something to you, then you back up. Like, ooh, that's not good. I just saw a yellow butterfly. That means something significant to me. But anyway, you have to be happy on your own. That comes from within. So we wish the couple happiness. It was a beautiful time for me. I got to get back on flights. Lots of gig work to do, lots of publisher things to do, and lots of voiceover, so that means back on T or whatever. But, you know, be happy. And allow yourself to be happy and open with someone. I have lost people out of my lives that I thought I couldn't breathe. This is when I was young and not all the way coming into wisdom, and then rebelling against what I've been taught by the granders, ladies of my family, and the men. You know, because my uncles, you know, it's good when you can have those people who, your uncles, like, I remember being young and my uncle, ooh, popular, girls calling, and when I be at my grandparents, he's sitting there watching TV on the beanbag or chilling, and he'd be like, I'm not here, I'm not here. And I'm like, he's not here, can I take a message? But baby, when Bebe got into junior high, I'm not here, I'm not here. Ring, ring. Hello, Messi too. I'm not here, I'm not. Hello? One moment, let me get him. He looked at me like, game over. I'm a female. So then I was like, when I called, if his sister said he's not there, is he there? Ooh, that veil of craziness. Like, I'm sorry. Y'all know what it is. Am I taking some of you all back down memory lane? So, you know, you just have to be of yin and all of that good stuff. It's good to be that. It's good. I'm just gonna go back and forth. And it's good when you can meet the parents. Oh my gosh, I remember when we had went through that little rough patch in the 20s with that girl. His mother, God bless her, you know, she transitioned. She called, because I was just in tears. I was so hurt, you know, when I got home, because I was just like, you know, it hurts, men or women, when you're betrayed. And I'm with you, brothers. It's a lot for a man to open up to a woman about past relationships or being betrayed and stuff like that. And that doesn't make you weak. In fact, that just makes you stronger. Because you can talk about it. Sometimes some pain is so great you can't even talk about it. But she wanted to pray with me. I love when mothers do not uphold their sons in the wrong. I love when mothers do not uphold their daughters in the wrong. I have no tolerance for that, though. My grandmother raised 5 boys, and she didn't do that praising them. She wasn't about that life. She would consistently, I mean, out here playing with girls' feelings. Don't play. And she held them accountable to that. So I love that. But yeah, it was, you know, just in life, you have to be consistently checking yourself. Pay it forward. Do good for people out of the heart, not out of trying to buy love or win love. I didn't birth any kids, but I have no regrets on how I conducted everything. Like I said, I'm spoiled. I wanted to know that it was me he wanted to marry, and not out of obligation or guilt or anything. I wanted the marriage. Take about 3-4 years, whatever. Let's just have some fun, because I'm of the mantra of friend and lover. Can't have one without the other. Because I was taught, again, by the grandmothers, about the men of my family, there is going to be some days you can be like, I wish you know, I don't want to be bothered. But the love, it's the love. But when you have the friendship and the love, that's what makes it even better. You can sit there and laugh and cry about crazy stuff. And, you know, it ain't even a romantic moment, you know. There was a moment that I thought was really cool, trying to show me something. I'm not going to get specific because, you know, I ain't trying to be dealing with crazy people, stalkers or whatever. And it was just, we were that friend vibe. But it was so cute, because then how we were dealing on the friend vibe, I'm such a romantic still. It's always there. I just kind of like, I was like, oh. So, you know, you got to be jovial on things. You do. Couple goals, don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do that. Don't be looking at other people's relationships or everything. Yes, it's good to be inspired, but, you know, you'll know when it's going to be for you. You know, when it's for you, who is for you. And one thing in my beliefs with God is that you can pray, but God will only answer the prayers that will do you of service. He will. That will only do you of service to the well-being of your spirit and soul. And it may not be where people can understand it, but that's just what it is. Checking out some highlights here. we will be going through this thing of mental health, because I do think that's important. And I would suggest meditation. I would suggest even trying things that you never have tried before. You know, just a lot. We were talking, me and mine, about just how we just do different stuff. And that's good for people to explore different avenues of things. We're both, you know, when you're lovers of some of the same things, then it's good, you know, then you can kind of compare things. Like, you know, he didn't know that, like, for me, I drove a boat, but that's not like real hard to come with me, you know, especially, you know, being always at somebody's beachhead, parasailing, you know, just really an active lifestyle. And I was telling him, I said, yeah, I was dating someone who had their own boat, and you know, I didn't have my license, but he needed me to know how to navigate that boat when we'd be out there on Lake Wiley and Lake Norman. And you know, it could seat, I don't know, about 8-9 people, and had like the downstairs cabins and the radio and all that. So, you know, it was great. You learn how to anchor, you learn how to do everything. And then with him, you know, he got his license of navigating with the waters and the boat and stuff like that. And so, you know, we talked about that, and it was okay. You know, that's when you're secure, because, you know, you're talking about things of the past, you know, that you've been with people in the past or anything like that, and it's just nothing. That's when you know you're on a level of, you don't have someone that you got to make happy or insecure when they hear stuff like that, or hear him refer to someone of the past. I've never been like that with anybody, anybody kind of thing. So I was telling him, I was like, okay, well, that'd be cool for us to explore, you know, up my way, his way, and then that's it. I mean, I think it's just wonderful, you know, finding your interests together and then making sure, good God, that you got your interests apart. I think also too, I love how these young girls are being empowered. I also love how even women of a certain age are becoming empowered and looking at things like, you know, carving out your own destiny, and then you know how to carve out a destiny with someone. And for anyone who is just like doesn't have anybody, let me tell you, those are the times for like preparation for you. And I would just say date. But you have to present yourself without a doubt as a lady, as someone who's going to be respected, even if you're frisky. Like, I'm frisky, you know. But one thing, that any time that you are with someone or whatever, they know, well, she's frisky, but she's my frisky. And that's the biggest thing, is trust and all that other good stuff. With the mental health, you just really have to sometimes turn off everything from everybody and just do you. Music is soothing. Getting out, exploring on your own. Getting with your good guy friends. Getting with your good girlfriends. Having that time to re-energize of your own. So I think that's a good thing. Ooh, we almost had a little collide there, but hey, everybody's dipping and dashing and dipping and dashing. I will say though, I was tempted to head and get me some more cupcakes. But the last cupcake I had for the weekend, I was like, I looked at the cupcake and I said, you little cream cheese cupcake. No more. No more. No nada. No. Okay? Because it's serious. Not summer body, because we're already here in summer. But I've already lost like a lot of that pandemic weight. But the thing is, I just don't work out like that. But I'm very active. And when I say work out, like, I've already said this over and over again. We're talking sports here. I am not joining nobody's gym. That is just out. I'm either going to do my hikes with my girlfriends or do a couple hikes. But really, doing those hikes doing that walking, that's about it. My metabolism is really good, and it is, you know, for a 50-year-old. That's right, 5 decades. I don't look no 50. Y'all know it. I don't look no 50. But my metabolism is still good because it's just always been active. Also with the lifestyle, on the go, on the move, doing a lot of things. And, you know, I do the stretches in the bed. Now, I will say, I do the stretches in the bed. That's about it. And then I might do the leg lifts, arm lifts, stuff like that. And, you know, do some abdomen stuff in the bed. But just like to hit the gym and do that, or go on a diet, no. I'm not going to deny myself anything. But back to what my great-grandmother said, Native America, you know what it is. Do everything in moderation. Everything. But if you're fine at the weight you are, do that. Stay that. Rock that. It's just that I'm too short for all this weight. But it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Being body conscious. But hey, I didn't get no complaints in my little whatever, because my weight is just kind of proportion. A lot of times it does show up in the face and everything. And you know, I did get the kudos for seeing, you know, the weight loss this weekend. So I thought that was pretty cool and everything. And so, you know, a lot of times people want you to be so perfect, or people get in their head like, oh, you gotta be perfect, like, ooh, perfect this, perfect that, perfect skin, perfect that. Let me tell you something. Like I said, always, never been without, and there's too much coming that you don't even want in attention. And my skin is not perfect. It's who you are. And men are not really set up like that. Like, I'll tell you, if I do have anybody who starts getting critical on how I color my hair, how I wear my hair, and all that stuff, you need to go. But I've never had that. And what's really crazy, all the guys have like beautiful skin. And I remember when I cut my hair short. Now, one did have a problem, but like just telling me how to wear my hair or whatever, he was just like whatever. But you know, it's not like that. So I think women do way too much when men aren't trying to say do too much. That's just something that's in you, because attraction is attraction, and it doesn't matter. You can be all perfecto if you want to go crazy and all that other stuff, or you could scratch your head and be like, oh my god, how do you get her? Like, but I know I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I might be looking, but then you try to let that wisdom elevate and be like, you better stop acting like that. Are you kidding? Why are you tripping like that? Now you know. That's none of your business. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of it all, here's another wisdom gem. We get out off this, but it's a gem. If you stay together long enough, looks will change. Things will change. And that's when you're really gonna see them dogs. You're not gonna be Miss Shake 'em, or he's not gonna be Mr. Ooh. Things will change. Vows, even if it's not married, for better for worse, for sickness and health. You know, when you're way up, when things are golden, that's when a lot of people, ooh, when things change, or life-changing moments. Are you going to be there? And saying yes is a really big thing. If you have loved and lost, don't be bitter. You loved. There's some people who may have never loved, but you loved though. So, I hope that this little chica chat has enlightened a lot of people. I'm just using my wisdom on things. I think that it's good to be elevated in your life, in your wisdom. Because if you are a believer that life goes on, you want to make sure that you have elevated yourself into moving beyond into another yin and not another yang. Okay, on Instagram here on my BB Love Sports IG, we got America's Best Racing. They loved my comment. I was like, what a race. Again, it was the Belmont Stakes, third and last of the Triple Crown Thoroughbred Horse Racing. A such a quality one on yesterday. You can see my previous live video. I got some love from PJ Martin. Okay, I put like 3 fires signs and was like illuminating. That crowd was everything. I love me some PJ Martin. I cannot wait to get back to being in the studio doing the talk show. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming back because I love giving that platform to some dope artists that are just super dope. In sports news, Chancellor Lee Adams graduates Charlotte, North Carolina, business-based city, which I'll be headed back to Atlanta. You're so great with me. Atlanta is like the second home. My aunt was here, Marianne. I got cousins, family, friends, and this was all before the Louvre. And so I've always been rocking with Atlanta a long time. I got a girlfriend here named Toot, and that's been, what's up? Toot Caesars. That's been ever since we've been like 4 or 5. You know, the family had moved here from South Carolina, and you know, every time they would come and I would come, you know, from Tampa, and you're just, there has just been a friendship ever since, like, we know each other because of family, friends. So this has always been home to me in Atlanta. But yeah, Chancellor Lee Adams, the son of Sharika Adams, raised by the G-Mom, Lady Queen Sandra Adams. Chancellor graduates from high school through everything that happened through that Ray Caruth situation. I really wish I did not have that. I just like say it out of my mouth, but just to give the reference there. So I was getting hit up so much throughout this weekend, and even before I got here to Atlanta, about Chancellor. You know, back in those days, I was dating a cousin of Sharika's, and my aunts and Sharika met through a friend in real estate. So, you know, she was a sweet spirited girl. No matter what, we all are perfectly imperfect, flawed and all, but nothing like this should happen. But then when the doctor said of the things that Chancellor wouldn't do, he succeeded those odds. And so on my BB Love Sports page platform on Instagram, people are just showing all this love, and it just really warms my heart, you know, because I was telling this morning about that, how the young man just beat so many of the odds, and definitely I know that his mother in spirit is so very proud. You can look for the full interview and the pictures of Chancellor in his cap and gown at Freedom Park in Charlotte, from the Charlotte Observer newspaper. So you can do that. Now, going back about the boat thing, you know, like you talk about your life before you've been together or with your friends. You know, I was saying how he taught me how to drive the boat and everything, and I was like, well, you know, we had the situation, you know, it goes back to respect, what we were talking about, because we're big on respect. And I would say at the time when we docked the boat and went to eat, you know, because, you know, the family had the house right there on the water. This girl, this waitress, she was so disrespectful, but I just sat there because, like, when you know the one you love and they're not cruddy, she was like, oh my God, you're so handsome, your eyes are blue. Yes, he's a black man with blue eyes. And I mean, like, blue, sea blue. She was just going on and on, and but when you know the person you're with, I told the person I'm with now the story, because he kind of like reminded me of, like, you don't know who you deal with. This person may look handsome and all that, but he's a real one who's gonna come out of his mouth, you know. Because sometimes they associate super handsome with being so not put you in your place. She was just going on and on and on. And you know what he did? He was like, he didn't say thank you. He looked at her and looked at me, and he said, baby, go ahead and tell her what you want to order. Please get my baby's order first. So he set her in her place because she was going overboard. Because, you know, like, my eyes are sunshine eyes. Like, you get a lot of compliments all the time. And, like, I was telling babe, like, when I drink milk, like, they'll go like a little frosty green. Hold on to your hats. You get, you know, if you're a man of color and you got these really beautiful sea blue eyes, like, yeah, he's gonna get the compliments. So, but he might have would have addressed it a different way, but she was doing too much, and he was just like, nah, you're not about to mess up my, are you? So yeah, I learned how to navigate the boat and all that other stuff. And then, you know, when you drop the anchor, he would just dive in. I was like, oh dear God, we don't know what's in that water. I'm most certainly not gonna dive in. But yeah, it's just all about the give and take and just being at your very best. I think that is so beautiful that people are showing the love to Chancellor Lee. So make sure y'all check that out. Also, I want to send a shout out Tampa, my baby, okay, my cousin, but you know it is with the Davis women. Olivia, she celebrates her birthday. So shout out Geminis, y'all better show out, because it's gonna soon be time for Cancer, and this is gonna be back my time again, because like I said, I am Leo in Ascension, and then Sun sign Pisces. I celebrate birthdays 2 times a year, okay? Because you really see the Leo, and to really see the deep essence of the Pisces, that's when you trust someone and you're really with someone, or you feel comfortable enough. But that's why that ascension sign is there, because that's the first thing that you see and everything. So it was a great race with essential quality for the Belmont Stakes. We're just all over the place here, just talking about stuff. And essential quality won. He was a favorite. It was a really great race because he was in 5th position. Okay, and then he just came up from the outside and he just started running hard for his life. I'm trying to figure out who that is. We got a lot of people calling, so the phone stays hot and jumping, the pad stays hot and jumping. I definitely want to say to that with all of those Triple Crown races, from the Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and with Belmont Stakes, it was just really, really great. And I know people have cashed out if you betted on Essential Quality, which was the favorite. Beautiful horse, absolutely beautiful horse. So we send love there. Also want to send love to 1021 Media Group, because they have been posting for me. If you all thought those were my posts personally, you know, we have a system set up that when I'm on my downtime, they already have things in place. Okay, so we got a message there. So my cousins and them, they had a really good time for Libby's birthday. She's still doing what she needs to do. So I wish I was there, but yeah, everybody sent the pictures. I thought it was great. Again, we're going to have a preseason going into the NFL this year, okay? And I think that that's really super. I think that's really great. I think that's wonderful. And we're just going to see what happens in the preseason. For the Packers, we're going to see what happens if Aaron Rodgers comes back. Ooh, what's going to happen? I did talk about this weekend too. You know, we have a love of sports. I was just like, right now, it just looks so drama queenish. It looks like a me, and not a team. And listen, there's a lot to be said when you got into the playoffs and the championships. Then you're right there at the 3-yard third. You're at the 3. This person is backing up. I'm trying to figure out what they're gonna do. But you're at the 3, and you don't go into the end zone or try to go into the end zone to get the touchdown. And a lot of people are saying Aaron Rodgers is looking at Tom Brady. But listen, like me and mine talked about, Tom Brady has rings. Okay? And then he proved that, look, I'm not getting what I want. I'm going to another team. And then voila, Tampa Bay Bucks, that's the home team for me. I'm a Tampa Floridian. Tampa won the Super Bowl. But that doesn't mean that if Aaron Rodgers went someplace else, that would happen. Because I feel like you had to come in. We're right there when Brett Favre was moving on out. Okay. Jordan Love. It's not Jordan's fault, but why deny this man his dream? During some games when Packers were winning, Jordan Love could have finished out the second half of a third quarter. Maybe like 5 minutes, 10 minutes in. But that didn't happen. I think that's selfish. I think that when you have been in your career for so long, if you love the game of football and you know the different chips that you had, like how you were so late picked in the draft, you know, here's a young man, why dash him? He was selected. So I just feel like, okay, well, maybe it is time for him to move on. Maybe the Packers will not let him move on because of contract, and then you have to retire it out. But either way, You have to bring fresh blood into the game of anything. When you are fresh, reign well. Get your stuff. Get your accolades. Get your stuff. He will, without a doubt, be in the Hall of Fame. But I'm just saying, yes, he wants those rings. But there's a way to do things. It just is. Julio Jones. Eagles, that's how it's divided though right there. Packers, Eagles. But check it. Is that going to be the good dynamic fit for the Eagles? Ooh, you just have to see. Dallas. When are we going to see them just keep it trumping on? The Steelers. Steelers was like, what? Undefeated, and then everything just crashed and burned. So that's why I love these seasons, because you could be rocking it out, and then when you start getting toward going into the playoffs and the championships, those teams that don't have nothing to lose, they start dealing the L's. It's the daggers. Okay, I'm not gonna let Ryan Clark take my daggers. He said it on ESPN when he was doing commentary for Gather's show, and I thank God. See how God aligns things. And I heard him say daggers, and I act so quick on Twitter. I was like, don't start coming for my daggers. And then I was like, well, okay. And my da, okay, the Cuban gentleman in Tampa, my dad, he was like, well, signature it. And I did. Y'all watch me. I'm looking for a perfect dagger, not a real dagger. I'm not going to cut myself, okay? But probably a retractable dagger. But anyway. The daggers. When those teams that have nothing to lose, they can do those L's and just shift you right out of the playoffs and the championships. That's just what it is. It's just, oh my God. My God. And that's just the really crazy part of it. What do you do? What do you do? So, best of luck to everybody. I can't wait to get back to sport broadcasting. Also, college games. Got my credentials. Never take anything for granted. Got them. So, it's going to be a lot of college sport games that's going to be happening. And just getting things done. I think it's wonderful when you can get things done. Do what you love what you do, and you wish others well to do what they need to do. You're never a dream killer for anyone. And then when you get those moments, you come together with your family and friends and everything. I had a girlfriend, oh my God, my girl, Bird, you know, she should be in Miami right now. She was like, hey, everything's good, everything's on me, get your flight, come on to Miami. I couldn't do it because I had some other gigs and stuff that was there, but you know I would have been at South Beach, okay? I sure would have. But we got more of those times ahead because it's summer, it's beach. Get out and do your thing. I hope this has been enlightening for people. I hope this has maybe took people's minds off anything that they was doing. Sometimes you could do like your chats and it just is all over the place and it just takes your mind off everything. We have a beautiful picture here. Right here, it scared me a little bit because they showed the picture of Tony Bennett and I was just like, oh my God. But no, Tony Bennett is still alive. But they are talking about the COVID vaccines that are important. I'm pretty sure they had, I'm pretty sure these comments were like, oh my God, I thought he was dead. And everything. So, here's the thing. You have to make your own choices about the vaccines. Everybody's body is different. Some people just are going to take a little bit more time before they take that vaccine. And that is okay, and that is your right. We are not in a dictatorship right here. So, I love the fact that it is still a choice. So some people's immune systems are so good that they don't even have to worry about talking about trying to take the vaccine right now, because they never got affected through the pandemic, but they're still doing their stuff to keep them safe. Okay, there's a lot of people that got, you know, a lot of holistic stuff to keep them safe, and then there are some people, the way that the Creator has set up our bodies is that some people will not be immune. They might be carriers, but they may never. And that's the beauty of everything. It is. All right, everybody, I'm out to get out of here, but you know, if you must take it, then take it, and just go from there. We have Formula One here. We have the top 10, and those races are still going good over there. I loved everything. I like how they have like the camera in there and everything. But Leclerc Ferrari was 4th. McLaren Norris was 5th. For Alpine, Alonso was 6th. Sonoda was 7th. Sainz was 8th. Ricciardo was 9th, and Raikkonen was 10th for Alfa Romeo. So they're giving those updates there. And then you had Max Verstappen, who won in Monaco, so that was really good. Okay, one time for Red Bull. Lando Norris looking really good right there. So, you know, he got pole position number 5. Then we got Ricky Thompson here doing his thing. And, oh wow, this is a good one. This news you can use. Live from the Township Auditorium, just announced it's going to be Steve Martin and Martin Short, the funniest show in town at the moment. Okay, with a very special guest, Jeff Babco, Zano, the Steep Canyon Rangers. So, the tickets go on sale June 8th and 10th. This is going to be on October 21st. Oh my gosh, wait a minute. I better follow. I better do some following there on that, because that's going to be good. Y'all know love me some Steve Martin. Okay, and Martin Short. That should be really good. And that's a legend. So when you see those dates in any other cities, you need to go ahead and do that. We got Deion Sanders saying, thank you ladies for doing your best to help us in every way by giving us the cheat sheet. We're just $2.07 to super to listen and learn. Fellas, it ain't always about us. Coach Prime. Y'all know I love me some Deion Sanders. It's always that Florida love. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm telling you, when it's Florida, it's Florida. Let me tell y'all something. Essential Quality is such a beautiful horse. Belmont Stakes. Essential Quality has won. But look at that. If you can see that. He is taking a nap. Jesus Christ. Okay, he needs it too, because he ran that race. Oh, that is such a cool shot. It's a lot of looks and stuff. The Billy Porter, I just love him. He just always gives like a range of sunshine. It is Pride Month, so for people who love their lovelies in the life, one love to you. I don't ever have to shout it to the mountaintops, but my lovelies are everything. And I have been dubbed Queen Queer Dear. You know, the term for that is queer dear, but they added the Queen Queer Dear because I reign well. Carry yourself like your queen. So they called me Queen Queer Dear. What is a queer dear? This is Happy Pride Month. Let me tell you what a queer dear is. The queer deer is a heterosexual female who has friends in the lifestyle of same-sex relations. So that's it. Hang out with them. I love them. Just great memories. So for those who are celebrating Pride Month, cheers to you. For those that we have lost, we remember them. We remember them well and fondly, and have a cheers and put on some boas. See, I'm old school queer deer. Put on the boas and twirl for the girls. Okay. Versus, they had the Swiss Beats and Timberland. If anybody was following that, that was just so cool. And we're still seeing in the news people being shot and killed and just different stuff. So, I mean, definitely people we got to really put together and, you know, still reach for the best of everything, to do better and not all this killing and shooting one another. We got to just do so much better with all of that. Had a great time in Atlanta as always. Atlanta, I will be back. And I am loving Ashanti. She's been doing it, okay, with her bathing suits, and right now she's in Miami where my girl is. Oh my god, I wish I could be there. But Ashanti has been doing really, really good. I mean, she's been doing her traveling in Kenya, just doing it, and I love that. So live your life, be happy, but the happiness must start with you first. I love my life, and I feel that when I bring someone in to my life, or they bring me into theirs, everything's not perfectly imperfect, but it's always the yin that counts, and perseverance and resilience. And when you have that kind of kindred spirit going on, that's great. I'll be doing some more inspirations for anybody who's going through anything. Hey, find inspiration. And I'll be doing more of this. This is pretty cool. Now I'm off, good people. I'm going to grab me some Starbucks, do some more things while I'm here in the A. And then I got to get on a plane, baby. Alright, y'all. Happy joy to everybody. Peace and love. Stay lifted. Always. Bye-bye. Peace and love, everybody.